Sergio El Grande Villarreal Barragan, the betrayer of Beltran Leyva. In Mexico's long war on cartels, Sergio Villarreal Barragan, known as El Grande, stood out not only for his violence but for his betrayal. A former high-ranking member of the Beltran Leyva organization, he was instrumental in several assassinations, kidnappings, and large-scale cocaine shipments to the U.S. In 2010, after his capture, Villarreal shocked the underworld by becoming a protected witness, cooperating with authorities in exchange for leniency. According to the Mexican Attorney General's Office, FGR, Villarreal completed his cooperation term and was discreetly released under a new identity in 2024. Officially, his current status is classified, but cartel watchers believe his insider testimony dismantled multiple factions and earned him lifelong enemies. Reports suggest federal protection continues, though his reappearance could destabilize fragile truces between surviving Beltran Leyva and Sinaloa elements. 5. José Bayron Piedrahita Ceballos, the banker. Known in Colombian law enforcement circles as El Contador, the accountant, Piedrahita was less of a drug trafficker and more of a financial genius. According to the U.S. Treasury Department, he laundered millions through cattle farms, restaurants, and front companies tied to the remnants of the Cali cartel. Arrested in 2017, he served a reduced sentence after plea negotiations. In 2024, Colombian prison authorities confirmed his release under good conduct provisions. His companies remain under investigation, but several journalists have reported unverified sightings of him in Panama and Paraguay, operating quietly in logistics and currency trade. While his violent past is minimal, his financial precision makes him one of the most dangerous kinds of traffickers, the kind who never needs to fire a gun to move billions. 6. Johan Jairo Velázquez, Popeye's legacy. Although Johan Jairo Velázquez, former Medellin cartel hitman and Pablo Escobar's enforcer, died in 2020 according to Colombian prison records, several independent Spanish-language outlets reported the 2024 release of his closest associate, referred to under pseudonym, El Padrino Chico, who allegedly inherited Popeye's remaining network. While unconfirmed, these reports triggered online speculation about whether Escobar's old enforcer's ideology is resurfacing through digital-era crime, extortion, crypto laundering, and online threats. Authorities have not verified this claim. Colombian National Police call it under review. The return of old powers. What ties these men together isn't just their criminal past, it's the vacuum they leave when they return. Every release reshapes alliances, new suppliers, new brokers, new wars. According to Europol's 2024 annual threat assessment, the re-entry of older cartel and smuggling figures has already disrupted synthetic drug routes across the Atlantic, with European seizures of fentanyl precursors spiking by 22% in early 2024. And yet, most of these names no longer seek violence. Their methods have evolved. They now operate through coded finance, offshore networks, and political influence. Their power is quieter but deeper. A retired DEA officer summarized it best. The new drug war doesn't start with gunfire anymore. It starts with a release form. The aftermath, power vacuums, alliances, and the return of the drug lords. When the world's most dangerous traffickers walk free, the gates don't just open for them. They open new fronts in the global drug war. The year 2024 didn't just mark a few quiet releases. It marked the rebirth of balance and betrayal across the world's criminal map. When men like Gilberto Rodriguez Orihuela, Haji Bagcho, and Gently Egan stepped out of their cells, they didn't just return to freedom, they returned to a chessboard they once controlled. In law enforcement briefings from DEA to Europol, analysts describe the same concern: old generals never fade. They reorganize. And in 2024, those generals began to move again. The Colombian power shift. In Colombia, Orihuela's release sent ripples through Cali, Medellin, and Bogotá. Though officially retired and elderly, his name still carries weight. According to El Espectador and La Semana reports, remnants of the old Cali cartel began reuniting under small business cooperatives, seemingly legal on paper, but with deep roots in smuggling logistics. Federal investigators believe his network quietly reabsorbed mid-level traffickers disillusioned with fragmented cartels. The Colombian National Police, in a 2024 internal memo leaked to Reuters, warned that Cali's silence is deceptive, they are rebranding, not retreating. Meanwhile, rival organizations like the Clan del Golfo and Los Pachenca started watching ports and transport hubs once controlled by Cali's agents. The result was a surge in targeted assassinations in the Valle del Cauca region, a silent territorial adjustment disguised as random street crime. Orihuela himself, according to verified prison documents, is under strict medical supervision in Bogotá. Yet intelligence reports suggest emissaries continue to visit him, a pilgrimage, investigators call it, of traffickers seeking symbolic blessing. Mexico's chemical renaissance. South of the border, the release of Jean Yigan triggered what Mexican analysts dubbed the chemical renaissance. While traditional cartels, Sinaloa, Jalisco New Generation, CJNG, and remnants of Beltran Leyva, battle over corridors and firepower, Yigan's influence was built on supply. He understood that whoever controls the precursors controls the profits. According to Mexico's Financial Intelligence Unit, UIF, and Preciso magazine, Yigan's contacts in Asia never disappeared. His old import routes for pseudoephedrine and other synthetic compounds remain active through shell pharmaceutical companies across Hong Kong and Malaysia. The quiet fear among Mexican officials isn't that he'll rebuild an empire, it's that he'll modernize it. Synthetic drugs have overtaken cocaine and heroin as the new global revenue source. Yigan's release, paired with a global boom in synthetic production, could shift cartel economies toward chemistry over cultivation, less farmland, more lab space, and fewer detectable shipments. A DEA insider told Univision Noticias, when Yigan moves again, it won't be in trucks, it'll be in formulas. Afghanistan. The old roads reopen. In the mountains of Nangarhar and Kandahar, Haji Bagcho's old network never truly vanished. Even during his imprisonment, the trade in opium and heroin continued under relatives and successors. According to ANOC's 2024 opium survey, cultivation spiked after 2 years of relative decline. Some analysts connect this to Bagcho's return to Afghan soil, though officials stop short of confirming direct involvement. Bagcho's legacy wasn't violence, it was logistics. He understood that wars change borders, but not trade routes. The smugglers he trained decades ago still dominate the flow of opium through Pakistan and into Iran, eventually reaching European and African ports. One intelligence report described his return as symbolic but catalytic. Symbolic because he's too old to lead, catalytic because his name reignited loyalty among surviving networks. According to BBC Persian, several mid-level traffickers recently began referring to their shipments as Bagcho freight, a tribute or perhaps a warning. Mexico's betrayer and the cartel fracture. The quiet reappearance of Sergio El Grande Villarreal Barragan reshaped Mexico's cartel psychology. A man who once served as an enforcer for the Beltran Leyva organization, Villarreal's cooperation with law enforcement made him one of the most hated figures in the underworld. When FGR confirmed his cooperation term ended in 2024, speculation exploded. Had he been released, relocated, or eliminated? According to La Jornada, unidentified sources within Mexico's security apparatus confirmed a controlled reintegration, official language for a witness placed under federal protection. The danger isn't that Villarreal will rejoin the trade, it's that his knowledge of cartel infrastructure makes him a living threat. In response, multiple Sinaloa-linked cells have allegedly offered bounties, while CJNG operatives in Veracruz have increased activity near federal safe zones. The Washington Post reported that even rumors of El Grande's movements have sparked shifts in cartel hierarchy, a phenomenon Mexican analysts now call the fear of ghosts.